News 10 starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good morning. At 6 o'clock, we begin with breaking news out of Dallas this morning, where the worst attack on police since 9/11 took place overnight, killing 5 officers and injuring 6.
Officials say at least 2 snipers opened fire on police as peaceful protests over the recent police shootings of 2 black men plunged into chaos. And our own Ethan Hutchins is on the scene in Dallas in front of the parking garage where a lot of action's been taking place, a lot of activity. Ethan, what updates do you have for us this morning?
Justin Tyna, things are still very tense here in downtown Dallas. You can see behind me at El Centro College, there are still police officers going in and out looking for explosives that we have just now learned were not inside. All morning long, we've heard helicopters in the air. We've seen police officers going down the streets because we were told that there were explosives that last suspect possibly left inside the college. But again, we do know now that there are no explosives that have been found. Now, here's some video that we have from this morning. This is video right when the shooting broke out in downtown Dallas following that protest. You can see many people running for their life just with complete chaos. There was a lot of shooting going on, bullets ringing out from those snipers and from police. There was just a lot of people in the area following that shooting that broke out. Now, back out here live, the question that many people are asking this morning is why this has happened. There is still no idea yet what was the reason behind this, who these suspects are, if they were affiliated with any organization. Those are details that we're going to try and find out this morning. But again, this is just an active scene still several hours after the shooting broke out. We'll, of course, stay here in downtown Dallas to find out the latest. For now, we're live in Dallas. Ethan Hutchins, KWTX News 10.
All right, Ethan, thank you. And early this morning, again, President Obama called last night's shooting a vicious, calculated, and despicable attack on law enforcement, saying we are horrified over these events. Of course, as Americans, justice will be served and everybody will be held accountable.
You can continue to follow this story right here. We'll be having a live interview with Police Chief Jim Devlin from Hewitt, as well as going to KWTX.com for the latest. Welcome back. Well, in light of the recent ambush shooting in Dallas overnight, where 5 police officers were killed and 6 are injured, we're talking with Hewitt Police Chief Jim Devlin, who's worked in just south of Dallas for a number of years. He's joining us this morning. And, first, Chief, this is being called the worst attack on police since 9/11. How will this affect the department and officers as a whole?
Well, once they get over, it's a heartbreaking event. Even the mayor said that. Once that initial shock, just sets in, and it's probably going to have a sense of solidarity within the agency. Really is going to bring them together. Dallas is, from my opinion, Dallas is just such a big agency. Some of these officers probably didn't even know these individuals, but it doesn't matter. It's just because it's the same work environment. It's just the thin blue line. I suspect that it's actually going to make things pretty tight-knit within that agency, and even within the agencies surrounding, even including down here in Central Texas.
And we've been showing this video this morning, sir, about the officers pushing everyone to safety, having no idea that they were the ones being targeted. But this obviously is not shocking to you. This is what police do in situations like this.
Yeah, and I watched that same video. I saw it last night, as this story broke, and that they're the ones that are running to the gunfire. They're the ones that are pushing the citizens that are out there out of the harm's way, getting them to areas of cover or pushing them away from the location. The video's there. It speaks for itself. They just showed up. They went to where the trouble was and started to handle the situation as the best they could.
As a police chief, a husband, a father, what goes through your mind when you got the news of all this and a situation like this breaks out?
Oh, it's horrible. It's the worst thing that, as a chief, that you want to hear. You never want to get that call. You never want to get it. I got to give kind of my admiration for Chief Brown for handling it the way that he handled it. To get up there and have that type of loss of officers. Again, like you said, the most tragic event for law enforcement since 9/11. And to deal with it the way that he has dealt with it, is very admirable. But, it's horrible. I never want to get that news. I hope I don't ever have to get that news. It's just something that, we know in this business has the potential to happen. and we always have to be prepared for it. I just don't want it to happen. You know, it's bad. I don't ever want to get that phone call.
Absolutely, neither do we. You know, we thank you right now for joining us this morning. Obviously, a very tough morning for everyone, all the brothers and sisters in blue. Once again, though, Police Chief Jim Devlin joining us this morning on The Buzz. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Right now, it is 6:27. We're back with more breaking news out of Dallas after this. Stay with us.
News 10 starts now with a breaking news alert.
And breaking this morning, police in Dallas have ended a lengthy standoff with a suspect possibly connected to Thursday's fatal police shootings in Dallas. Officials say at least 2 snipers opened fire on police at elevated positions yesterday as peaceful protests over the recent police shootings of 2 black men plunged into chaos.
This is one of the officers who was killed, Brent Thompson. He actually worked for Dallas Area Rapid Transit. We're told he was one of the guys usually making sure everything was safe and sound on the morning train. This is the first time one of the DART officers has been killed in the line of duty. News 10's Ethan Hutchins is there, but we begin our team coverage right now with Don Champion in Dallas.
Dallas police say officers were ambushed Thursday night when snipers opened fire on police during a protest downtown. People ran for their lives.
It's almost like the gunshots were coming at us.
Officers used patrol cars to take cover.
We know that rifles were used to injure and kill Dallas officers and a DART officer.
11 officers were shot, 5 died, including Brent Thompson, the first ever DART officer killed in the line of duty. Another DART officer, Misty McBride, was shot in the arm. Her young daughter spoke to reporters outside the hospital.
I'm just glad that she's alive, really.
One woman attending the anti-police brutality demonstration was shot in the leg. She used her body to shield her son. Authorities took 3 people into custody in the hours after the shootings, including 2 individuals seen tossing camouflaged bags into the back of a black Mercedes. A standoff with another suspect in a parking garage ended early this morning. Police sources tell CBS station KTVT that individual died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Tensions were already high in Dallas and beyond following the fatal police shootings of 2 black men this week.
Let's be clear, there's no possible justification for these kinds of attacks or any violence against law enforcement.
The governor of Texas says now is the time to unite as Americans. Don Champion, CBS News, Dallas.
And our team coverage continues. News 10's Ethan Hutchins is there in Dallas trying to get us some updates.
And Ethan, we understand you're speaking with someone who was actually there when all this happened.
Justin Tynan, yeah, we are here in downtown Dallas. This is still a very surreal scene. In fact, we just saw several people coming out of El Centro College here in downtown Dallas. For now, we are joined with Ashley Washington. She was here when the shooting broke out. You were also at the protest. Ashley, tell me what happened. Bring me back to the moments of the shooting.
We was protesting, and as we was walking and coming around the corner, you know, when it started off, it was a peaceful protest. As soon as we made a right, that's when gunshots went off. When I first heard it, it sounded like firecrackers, and I seen people running. So I tend to run and stop, and then when we was walking back, we heard the multiple gunshots, and that's when everyone was running. People was falling on the ground, getting ran over, and everything just got chaotic, and everybody was just running everywhere. Now it's to the point where that we cannot get our cars where our cars are parked at is considered a crime scene. We have been here for 12 hours, no food, no water, no nothing. There has been people that slept on the ground. It's just so much that's going on, and my mind is not here.
You're from Dallas. Your car is still in the parking garage right there behind us. You were there at the protesting,
Yes.
of course, what's happened this week. What has been the worst part of this whole experience for you?
Right now is the simple fact that our vehicles we can't get to our vehicles. We are considered stranded, homeless right now, and the gunshots, and knowing that there has been police officers killed and don't know what is going on right now. So
thinking about what's happened over the last several hours, what does this make you feel? Is it very emotional?
It's very emotional to me because this is my very first protest, and it's mentally emotional, physically emotional, and it's just so much right now that's taking a toll on me, and it's so much that's coming at me all at once, and it's like I'm trying to put everything together what has happened over the last 12 hours.
Well, we appreciate you speaking to us. I know this is a very difficult situation. Of course, the scene is still here. We very much thank you to talk to us this morning. Now, Justin, Tina, we still are waiting for more information from police this morning in Dallas. We will stay here to find out what is happening and the latest on this shooting. But for now, we are live in Dallas. Ethan Hutchins, KWTX News 10.
And you can see authorities are still trying to kind of manage the chaos downtown in the situation, and they're blocking off a lot of roads, and a lot of buildings, in fact, downtown are closed.
Yes.
And that city's website will have that information, Dallas's website. You can check that out if you either know someone there or if you're headed there yourself. President Obama earlier today actually called last night's shootings vicious, calculated, despicable, and says that, of course, the entire nation is horrified over these events.
He vowed that those responsible will be held fully accountable and that justice will be done. Of course, this story is just beginning to unfold right now. We'll continue to bring you these updates all morning long right here on News 10 and, of course, at KWTX.com. Here at home, some feel the relationship between law enforcement and the citizens they serve needs to improve. Darius Brown is a local police officer after the recent officer-involved shootings. He's speaking out about the negative view many have about law enforcement, including in the minority community. A reaction he says is unfair until all of the facts are in. In hopes of breaking down stereotypes, he's trying to bring community members together for a meaningful conversation.
A lot of our minorities were taught from a very young age not to talk to police officers, where others they go straight to a police officer and tell them thank you for your service.
Right now it's 6:56. Here's a last look at our headlines. Of course, the big one, 5 police are shot and killed in downtown Dallas. It started with a protest last night over recent police-involved shootings. A sniper fired at police from above, possibly from a building. Then later overnight, a man was in a standoff with police inside of a parking garage. We're told he shot and killed himself. 3 other people are in custody right now. Police believe there may be other suspects.